the message that needs to come through. What is the significator card? There's a message. Looking at the number 3, which is reminding me of the blood moon eclipse that happened yesterday on the 3rd. Also the month of March, which is right now. I'm recording this on the 4th of March 2026, but this reading is timeless. I will be referring to any relevant astrology for right now, but if you're watching it at a different time, just update it for whatever's relevant for what's going on with you at that point. Letter S. Was it a supermoon eclipse? It might have been. Protection, guardian, drop your shields, and knight, be brave and honest. I mean, these are really the themes. I've seen numerous astrologers talking about how this is a moon that has significant implications for speaking our truth. And I think a lot of us have been in self-protection mode, not saying what we think and feel, because we've been working through our own thoughts and feelings for ourselves and not sharing them so publicly, or in personal relationships where we might have in the past, because we wanted to reduce the impact of working through the more explosive stuff ourselves. But on the other side of that process, a lot of us are coming out right now with, and in the days and weeks to come, with new versions of self that are a lot more honest and a lot less reserved, and not aggressively so, just honest. Shout out to my neurodivergent family who struggled to not tell the truth in the first place, and had to learn to mask in a lot of situations where telling the truth was flat out dangerous. But that's a lot of what I feel we've been healing. It certainly has been a lot what I've been healing, and I'm seeing a lot of people go through this same work right now. Worlds within worlds. Yeah, I mean, that just confirms the autism diagnosis of this reading. I'm ADHD, but all neurodivergence counts. Yeah, self-worth. Just because we get described, and there's one language, I can't remember what it is, but the word for autism means in their own world, and getting the internal landscape into harmony, like making peace within, is now manifesting into peace work externally. But peace work does not mean going around just getting along with everybody and saying nothing. It means actually speaking the truth and doing the work of peace. I'm coming here from Northern Ireland, where we had an extensive peace process after 30 years of civil war, and that involved an awful lot of talking about the horrifying things that had happened and people's grief being witnessed. So this feels like something that's going on collectively. As we can see, there's an awful lot of truths being told that weren't being told, and we're being silenced and repressed, and that's just not happening anymore. That era is done, but we are here to birth this new world into being. The herbalist, herbs, medicine, and healing. Yeah, this is a deeply necessary healing experience that humanity is going through together right now. So if what has been happening in the world has been personally affecting you, or bringing up stuff where you were personally affected by those themes, I really hope you're being kind to yourself. I trust that you are, but I just want to remind you, this is heavy stuff. And I mean all the themes: war, exploitation, trafficking, everything. Everything. Tell me more about this herbalist. What is the healing what? Healing, shaman spiral. Awareness, practice, and connection. Yeah, healing our connection with the land, the earth, each other, ourselves. Everything about the systems of control want us disconnected from ourselves, each other, and the land that we live on, because they benefit from that. Tree, spirit, strength, growth, and stability. Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. So this feels like this reading is very much just a confirmation of what's going on, and an encouragement to do what you've been feeling the need to do, which is be brave and honest and reconnect. I just got, in a place close to home, there was a voyeur. Don't forget to connect And there is an image on the back of the card. Each back of the card in this deck is unique, and it's someone looking through a hole in a wall. And that's, like I said, a lot of us have been in this internal state. And possibly, you know, it's not all been positive, it's not all been healing, some of it's been reactivated trauma. And coming back out to reconnect with the world is very challenging, but this is the time. It's being called for more than ever. And a lot of us were called here for this particular time on purpose, neurodivergent people particularly, because our truth-telling nature is needed, but we had to heal our relationship with truth-telling within as well as without, and I feel like that's the work we're bringing out to show the world now that we've completed the internal leg of it, or most of it. In a place close to home, there was beauty. You are beautiful inside and out. And yes, you fucking are, just in case you ever forget, or for those times where the world tries to make you feel like you're not. Yeah, perception, embrace your insight. I know you know, if you are where I think you are, that you are beautiful, but it's also really helpful to remind, and some people may still be struggling with that, and there's nothing wrong with you if you are still struggling with that. It takes a lot of work. I didn't start the self-love element of my healing journey until the end of 2022, I think it was, and I had no idea how painful it was going to be to let love back in internally. I thought it was going to feel good. No. Love returning to places where love has not been. It's like cleaning out an infected wound. It's extremely painful. It was excruciating. I had a lot of resistance to it, and it took a long time to work through all of that. So be kind to yourself and take your time. But just know that you are beautiful. And sometimes we do need other people to remind us when we're struggling ourselves. I did. I was guided into that by a meditation during a breathwork session by someone else. Ooh. There's more neurodivergent energy, the anomaly card. Oh, I have things on my screen, but you probably don't. That is a crow with albinism. Well, it might be safe to say albino when it's a crow, but for human beings who have albinism, I have some folks in my family who do, and they prefer that person first language, so that's the one that I use. But genuinely, this means that, you know, in a world full of black crows, a white crow really stands out, and that's what it's speaking to, is, you know, you stand out. You know, when you go places, people fucking stare at you when you're not doing anything. In fact, even sometimes, especially when you're not doing anything, because they're like, what are you doing? You're like, nothing. Sometimes I like to just sit places and do nothing in public. But this is kind of the battle, which is the card that came out in the bottom of that deck. To be seen. Like, you might be battling with yourself and that internal world that we are making peace with, but it's an ongoing process. I don't think it's going to be like completed or done anytime soon, and we kind of need each other, really. This reconnection is not just about reconnecting to ourselves and to the land. We really need to reconnect with each other, and a lot of us have had so many toxic and painful and narcissistic and abusive relationships that we've been healing from. We might be at the stage where it's like, okay, I'm ready to try again, but I'm gonna be honest, I got some trepidation, and there's some old thoughts coming up here, so we're just gonna take it one step at a time and keep checking in with ourselves about the present moment, and remembering that whatever was going on in the past is not what's happening now, and we are not the same person or people that we were in the past, so things couldn't possibly happen the exact same way. Sanat Kumara, light activation. Shine your light. Your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear. Yeah, exactly. I'll just give it a little dance in the ring light there, just to emphasize the light. And there's the being of light that you are. If you know, you know. And I feel like you do know. But this is what's hard, because the light is what makes us visible. But at the same time, that is exactly what's needed. We need people who are visibly bright, loving, honest, faithful to themselves, to the truth, to their authenticity, and willing to show that to the world. So I don't want to say don't be afraid to do it, because I understand you may be feeling fear in doing it anyway, but remember that that is absolutely why you came here, and there's your real learning experience. It may be a learning experience for you to do this, like your nervous system will be learning being seen is actually a safe thing now. Now that doesn't mean in every scenario you're going to feel that, but the experience of learning now is figuring out where is it safe, where is it not, and then just continuing to move towards the spaces and places where it is safe to be seen, and trusting that being seen is actually its own form of protection, being seen in our true authentic light, because it pulls together other people, pulls towards us other people who are also broadcasting light, so that we can strengthen our frequencies together and actually protect each other. Number 24 from the Dreamweaver's Oracle. Weavers share their magic tea, and I'm pretty sure this is about being your authentic, unique self, but I'm going to check the book because I haven't seen that card in a long time. I haven't used this deck in a while. Number 24. Divine inspiration that could be life-changing. Being receptive and curious to following through, and selflessness. Okay, so it wasn't quite what I thought. When the Dreamweavers share their magic tea, it's a sign to remember the divine quality of inspiration. You know the feeling. One moment you're walking, taking a shower, or driving your car, and suddenly ideas come pouring through your mind and heart. You feel like you could explode with hope. These are gifts from the divine, from source, from the conscious universe, or any other name you claim to describe spirit. These gifts come unbidden and may answer a query you forgot you even asked. Inspiration is a feeling sense and comes with its own intelligence and logic. It's as if you've been staring at a complicated series of locks that have kept you away from the next manifestation of a destiny you've always known but just couldn't get to. Suddenly all the locks begin turning, pins click into place, and the door swings open to let the light shine in. Now you have inspiration in all its technicolor glory. Did you think the Dreamweavers would keep their magic tea all to themselves? You just need to stay receptive and follow through on your curiosity, then watch the magic arise to greet you. Inspiration wants to give you a gift. Let it. And I'm really feeling like this is actually what we're talking about with shining the light. Becoming the clear channel of inspiration, of divine inspiration coming through to say, this is it, this is the thing that you want to do right now, and doing it, being willing to take the risk, to be seen, trying, showing up, being vulnerable and sharing our gifts. And as that appears to be the guidance, I'm going to ask for some advice on this process of that's twice we've had learning experience with the Page of Pentacles, which is, oh, it's the Page of Swords, it's more the student. Well, I think actually the Page of Pentacles might be a student archetype as well, but it's definitely the new beginning of something in the physical. And I feel like this is bringing all of these gifts and all the work that we've been doing over the last however many years in our own healing journeys and spiritual expansions into physical manifestations in ways that are tangible and shareable with other people, with the world around us. And that feels like a very important use of our will right now. And I'm also noticing this is bathed in the colour yellow, which is the colour of the solar plexus chakra, which has been a massive part of the clearing and reclamation. I actually found my will through my dream analysis practice. I found mine in my brain. It had been locked up there by a mind program that was like, no, we don't use our will. We log it in here where it's not, because it's not safe to use. We have to let the world outside us tell us what it is that we're supposed to be doing with our free will. So it was like it had migrated the control of my free will to my mind, which is not where you want your free will to be operating from. You want it to be coming up through the heart and expressing into the world through the hands, through the voice, through the body. And the reclamation of that has been rough. Maybe that's resonating for some people. And we have the Hanged Man, which is the divine pause that I feel like I was just speaking to, that we have been in, and the Victory card, 6 of Wands. And again, this is being seen visibly victorious. And the victory doesn't necessarily mean we've won and others have lost, but it's being victorious in the things that we're aiming for, the things that our soul chose to do, that wanted to do when it came here. And it feels like this Hanged Man energy is an ongoing practice of surrendering to divine timing. But when the opportunities arise, we embrace our will and take action to victorious outcomes, to being visibly seen doing our thing and being unapologetic for that. if you are a neurodivergent person, if you've been gifted your whole life and you know what it's like to be seen doing your thing and for people to attack you for it, that might feel like the scariest part of all, but that is exactly what we're being guided to do right now. Just seeing if there's any energies I haven't picked up yet. Yeah, I feel like Uriel's learning experience here is specifically speaking about learning to harness our free will in a way that is in alignment with our soul rather than our minds, as I was saying. And that's a learning experience if that isn't how we've been doing it up until now. And maybe you have been, and if you have, more power to you, but I definitely had some programs still running. Like, it wasn't an always on thing, but it was definitely sometimes my will was being blocked by my mind. So, any last guidance for this group that this message is for? Fire! She came out earlier for me as well. Fire. And given that Saturn and Neptune have now moved into Aries, as of February the 20th, we had what some astrologers call the Great Reset. Aries being the first sign in the zodiac and all about the self. Self-actualization is what's coming through for me. It's the becoming, like, again, fire energy, the will, the passion. Letting our passions lead. And it's learning to harness that flame in a way that is sustainable and not destructive, that doesn't either burn through all of our fuel and burn us out and leave us exhausted, and doesn't become harmful to the world around us, or keep it repressed where it becomes harmful internally. But this energy is very much what is needed, because so much of our will has been repressed in order to be subservient to these systems of control, and it's time for that to end. So we got some tea leaves before we leave. We've got the Tower, which in the tea leaves is a solid foundation and success with effort. You're getting the Tower of Babel there, which, depending on what school of Christianity you look at it through or what lens, can mean very different things. So take from that your own meaning, but I'm just getting what the words are saying: solid foundation, success with effort, and I put it beside the Page of Pentacles, and it really feels like this sustained action steps, but without rushing, because a solid foundation is built slowly in order to make sure that it is sound and secure. We have Weeping Willow, family sorrow. And I feel with this, like, a lot of us are probably moving through difficulties in families of origin, countries of origin, workplaces, friendship groups, chosen family, whatever the word family means to you. And also the, like I say, work that we've been doing of healing inherited patterns of trauma and harm. Feeling that, allowing it to exist, like we're not bypassing the state of the world by trying to just have a good time and do whatever we want. But what our soul wants to do is exactly what the world needs right now. And then we have firecracker and excitement. And that really feels like something that might have been missing. You might have been struggling to even feel any enthusiasm about the future or about your life as you've been doing this work of healing. But I feel like that is what's coming back. So if it hasn't arrived yet, trust that it will. Because that desire to do what the soul wants to do is the most exciting feeling. I've been in alignment with mine many times, and I was really excited to do this reading actually, and it's now I've found a stable balance, whereas in the past my excitement used to consume everything and then I'd be burnt out and I'd gone way too far in the direction I was trying to head without stabilizing that solid foundation. But yeah, Knight of Cups just flipped out. I feel like now that we're in this energy of doing what it is that our souls are calling for, we're going to have an awful lot of offers of help. And that's actually a part of the confirmation that we're on the path. It doesn't mean to take every offer, because I feel like the abundance of the energies we're moving into now, there's going to be lots of offers, and that internal discernment of what is for me and what is not for me is really important. I feel like that was here somewhere. Well, I was waiting for the intuition I was thinking of. Because the intuition is going to guide us, and as we move towards what we're intuitively guided towards, if people come to help us with that, then we know that that's in alignment. Whereas if someone comes in and says, well, I'm going to offer you this because I think you'd be great at that, if your mind starts making that decision, oh, maybe I should do this because, and it becomes a logical decision, stop and check in with the intuition and say, does this feel like the direction we want to be going, or what we've been saying that we're interested in or feeling excited about? Because if not, it may be something to reconsider. But yeah, I think that's the message for now. At the bottom of that deck was the When the Birds Sing Gratitude, and I'm sure you probably have a gratitude practice at this point, which is probably daily, and that is a really helpful way to get into the frequency of abundance, being grateful for what we already have. Gratitude for having a roof over our heads, for having food to eat, for having water, for having the opportunity to be here, to do something that our soul really wants to do that is going to help. That could be any form of creativity. And I mean, the way you live your life is creating your life. Doesn't matter what you do. You don't have to consider yourself a creative or an artist. Anything that you're doing in the world, you're creating. So embrace that creative force and be the change you want to see in the world. I believe in you. I love you. Stay radical. Ta-ra for now.